Hello, everybody around the world. It's Tuesday night, time for another preseason Road Series race with the Midwest Motorsports GT4 Series. Welcome, everybody. I'm James J. with Adam Sondag. We are here tonight at the Charlotte Roval. You can see the track info on the track, and it looks a little gray and overcast out there. Adam, what do you think we're going to see tonight, man?
Well, with this fog, we might not see too much, but I think that we might see some people getting used to some new cars on a track that's a little off camber and not something I think a lot of road people practice as much as maybe people that race ovals. So we'll see how people do. Some people are a little nervous.
2.28 miles and 17 turns, including two tight bus stop chicanes. I think that's where a lot of the action will be. The fog doesn't look too bad now. Maybe that'll get better or worse as the day goes. We never know. But look at the Batmobile. Jason Phillips in a McLaren this season. Put it on the pole with the fast lap. Brian Cox in second. Those were last year's first and second, last season's first and second. Jesse Coffey and Michael O'Dell, row two. Travis Rowe, John Daniels, row three. Nicholas Aslan, Justin Thaler, row four. Shea McNeely, welcome back. Sharon, row five with Walker McNulty. Justin Glickner, David Stark, Brian Sarton, Ian Bakaitis, Kevin Bridges, and John Aslan round out the field as they're making their way back to turn three. I'm sorry, the exit of turn two of the oval to get ready to go back to the final chicane for the start. We are going to use the chicane for the start, and we're going to go green. It's time to go Roval racing. Brian Coxon's already trying to rub his mirrors off, getting a little Charlotte stripe. Up there coming around the exit of turn three into the bus stop now. There you can see a good idea of the fog. 60 minutes, one pit stop has been the norm, unless you need any repairs. Pit window is usually between the 20-minute and 40-minute mark. They can usually go about 20 minutes on a tank of gas. We'll see how Jason Phillips handles the McLaren. I'm sure he'll be just fine. Welcome to a couple of new guys we see. Brian Sarton, Kevin Bridges, as well as regulars from seasons past. But we're about to go racing. We do have a safety car if needed. If the track is blocked, it will take a lot for that to happen. But Josh Watt is ready to drive the pace car if needed. Into the final chicane. Watch out for the turtles, the big blue sausage curbs on the inside of the chicane. Those will make a difference. Jason Phillips punches the gas, and we're off for 60 minutes of the Charlotte Roval. 2x2, they're probably going to single file as they come into turn three. Jason Phillips, your pole sitter, gets the lead. Michael O'Dell in a BMW this season. The blue, I think it's a Bimmer World BMW with John Daniels. And Travis Rowe's got a new paint. And the BMW single file already. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, we'll see one how people develop here running through this, where people try to attack if anybody has any interesting places to attack. Two, I suppose we'll see people I assume are Jason is one to try different cars out, so we'll see if he actually sticks with running this McLaren, and we'll run that during the season, or if anybody else will change what they're running. So it might be interesting to see where people actually end up with their cars here, their choices. So might be some testing for people and might be some final touches for others.
Looks like Walker McNulty and John Aslan might have got into some action there. 20 seconds back behind the field already. You can see on the track map the little M&Ms going around. We're riding with Jason Phillips right now.
Shout out Jay Will. Yep. White chocolate. Yeah, let's check in. Let's check in and see what happened with.
I'm going to make. Sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's check in here and see what. Oh, Walker got sideways on the uphill. Cold tires, maybe.
He got excited. Josh Watt's out there driving with him as well. Good for Josh to get some lap times in on a preseason race.
Keep the kids in line. Get them back home.
That's right. Race official. Yeah, you're right. Cold tires probably, Adam. You see Walker still trying to get some temperature in his tires there.
It's a tough turn in almost anything you want to drive going uphill and to the right there. Trying to get the braking point correctly and get the balance of the car is not easy.
Luckily, nobody else was involved in that, but it's like Michael Odell hit the inside wall as he was coming onto the tri-oval there.
Opportunistic there from John Daniels, who is running the Aston Martin here for the first time. I don't think he ran it last week, did he?
Last week?
He may have.
I think he was out last week.
Okay, yeah, this might be the first we're seeing of the new car, so congrats to him on his new purchase.
Right. That's going to cost Michael Odell. Now he's in the grasp of Travis Rowe.
Travis likes hunting. We've seen a lot of hunting from Travis. Travis also likes this kind of teal color, so that's pretty consistent.
I'm not against it. I kind of like it too, man. It definitely stands out. It's got Travis Rowe written all over it, so it helps me out.
Yeah, if we know who you are, it definitely makes it easier.
I agree. Travis Rowe won Sebring Laguna Seca last season. There's Justin Thaler in the Porsche, the bright yellow wheels. You can see that from a mile away. One of the co-founders of Midwest Motorsports. He's up a spot.
He left his buddy Justin Gleckner behind, so we'll have to see if they follow strategy together and buddy up.
Justin Gleckner's got some catching up to do if he's going to try to keep up with JT tonight.
Walker's chasing down Josh Watt.
I think Josh may have passed him. I think Josh is in the GT3, right?
He did. Josh is exploiting his power advantage.
Why not?
So we'll see. So go easy on Kevin there. Kevin just joining us this week. Welcome, Kevin.
Is that what the heck? I didn't know this was multi-class racing. It's just preseason, Kevin. We're just playing around, just having fun tonight. Josh Watt runs race control with us 3 nights a week, so it's good for him to have an opportunity to get some sim rig time in as well. I'm sure you can understand. Hopefully Kevin will be able to resume the battle with Walker here. Here's Nicholas Aslan, who also made a manufacturer change. Sold all of his, I think it was in a Porsche last season.
He wasn't running Road Series with us last season, so this is the debut of Nick Aslan in the Road Series, GT4 Series. Nick's been running ovals, but joins his father here in the Road Series.
Nicholas has a couple of Truck Series wins. Super Speedway, Talladega, I believe, or Daytona, and then I think it was Daytona, and then last week I think it was either Charlotte or Kentucky he won. So good for him. Glad to see him branch out and run some road racing with us. Welcome to the club, Nicholas.
Yeah, it's nice to see people cross over from one side to the other. If you really want to take advantage of the ability to run clean races and get better at the craft in either disciplines, this league is a great place to do it.
You're not going to get run over as easily as you do in some of the officials where nobody knows anybody, and just sometimes people are in it for different reasons. As Nicholas Aslan does a good job getting by David Stark. David Stark also, I believe he has a change. Last season he was in the New Balance Porsche. Now he's got the German striped BMW.
This is the most
back.
GT4 BMWs I've seen in any race
Yep.
ever, maybe. As we see the the lurking evil of safety car Josh Watt in the rear view of everybody.
Stalking him down, trying to come through the pack cleanly. Josh is a great driver, though. He's not going to take anybody out, but he really is good, clean, consistent driver, working on his craft and getting all the seat time that he can.
Yeah, it's important to pace the safety car at a speed that doesn't get you yelled at by Max Verstappen or whomever else might be behind you. Max Bauer, maybe.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen Max Bauer in the preseason yet. Maybe he's still waiting to decide if he wants to sign up this season or not. I hope he comes back.
Yeah, we'll hope he comes through. These are optional races. Everybody running these is itching to be racing, so. But we do have we have really the meat of last season's success here, except for maybe Josh Bloom.
Yep. And he's signed up. He is definitely registered. Brian Coxon, speaking of stalking, is doing the same thing that he did a lot of time last season. Just kind of following, riding with Jason Phillips and deciding to just take notes and play it cool and drive consistent, clean laps until the time comes to battle. But they're still getting a little squirrely coming through that final chicane across the start-finish line. John Daniels not losing any ground, so good for these top three as they're working their way back through. Here's Michael Odell and Travis Rowe, the BMW battle. Travis Rowe working the outside, not giving in. Great race. Couldn't quite complete the pass. He carried a little more speed on the exit of the chicane, but couldn't keep the position. This Michael Odell, no stranger to racing, spends a lot of time on the Real World Spec Racer 3. He shared a lot of fun video from Mid-Ohio in a go-kart and another track that I forget.
He was at Road America, I think, within
Road America
the past week or two. So that's fun to see. Didn't get to ask him if he met the CEO of CrowdStrike before he bowed out respectfully from their GT World race after their big tech snafu last Friday. One of the most beautiful things of sports car racing is the varied entrance.
Yeah.
Your highly skilled, highly experienced drivers, your dentists, your lawyers, your venture capitalists, the Crown Prince of Malaysia, whomever you might find there, all doing what they love.
Yeah, it's funny that maybe the gentleman drivers, I think sometimes they're referred to.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah. Ben Keating may be the king among them.
I agree 100%. Driving two different prototypes in the same 24-hour race. Yeah, he's got more money than he knows what to do with.
Probably one of the fastest car dealership barons you'll ever see.
Travis Rowe is stalking Michael Odell. Maybe he's taking notes, but this is going to shaping up to be a great battle. The battle in front stays about the same. No threat there. I think Brian Coxon is just in follow mode. Travis Rowe, however, wants to prove a point. And he's not going to do it with his elbows. He's going to do it either by outbraking or get a better run or force Michael into a mistake by filling up his mirrors. No blinking, no disrespect here, just good, hard, clean racing. Both of these guys knows what it takes to be fast. They're on the sausage curves. You've already seen Michael Odell make a mistake tonight.
So far, our biggest mover in the field is race director Josh Watt, up 7 positions here.
That is the Mustang.
Yeah, it's a great sounding car. I haven't seen one live yet, so I'm excited to get up to Road America here in 2 weeks and hear these things live. It's just as beautiful as it can be. I might even take my field recorder to Road America and just stay in the carousel and record all of the beautiful cars going by, the varied throats of all of our competitors in the IMSA series are just something to
Amazing.
behold.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%. I spent a lot of time at Road Atlanta for the Petite Le Mans and other races throughout the season up there, season ticket holder, and camping overnight, waking up to the sound of XYZ cars practice, early practice. And when you're driving through or eating out, camping, working the grill, you don't always have time to look at the track, but you can tell when the Corvettes go by and you can hear the Mustang and you can tell when it's the
Hmm.
Ferrari. It's just absolutely amazing. Oh, that's a prototype. Or, ooh, that car did not sound good. Something was wrong. Is that a tire or something? When to look. Then you hear the screeches and you know when it's time to go look. Every now and then you might hear a crunch and a crash and you have to run out to the fence and see what's in front of you. It's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy yourself. Take lots of pictures.
Oh yeah, I took an incredible amount of photos last season. I don't even know if I finished editing all of them, but
All right.
it's a great facility up there, Road America. The carousel is a great place to listen to my favorite engine exhaust note, which is the RCF. That those Vassar Sullivan Lexuses sound really nice.
Really deep. Just
Wonderful.
horsepower.
Even the street versions sound just incredible. So it's like another pass here for Josh Watt, who has about 10 miles an hour advantage on the NASCAR corners here over everybody.
A little more weight, but that doesn't seem to hurt him, at least for now. Maybe, like I say, he's just having fun. Yeah. It's all good. No
These two
trophy
are
tonight, just an interview with us.
these two are stuck together. They continue
Oh,
to follow different lines, but
wow. Travis Rowe hanging it out right there. Michael O'Dell took a really wide line. Travis Rowe looked like he was in a four-wheel slide coming through there, keeping it tight as they worked their way through turns 2, 3, and 4, now 5 and 6, before hitting 7 and 8 back onto NASCAR turn 1. I like what they've done with the Charlotte track, though, to put a road course on the infield, more of like a stadium style entertainment facility for the fans.
yeah, it never hurts to maximize the utilization of these facilities. I don't know how many we've seen over the past handful of years turn into junk car yards or condominiums or whatever it might be. So any ability these facilities have to host more events is absolutely great and challenging drivers in different ways. So it's nice to see. This was, if I remember correctly, this is supposed to be originally given aspects of Sonoma. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, you're telling this story. I don't know. I'm happy to look it up.
I believe they wanted to be able to practice there closer to home. Then
Oh,
our safety car is backwards.
trying to put that power down. Oh, you lost a bumper. Here it is. What happened, Josh? Coming in the infield around pit exit. Oh, it just gets on the power too early.
Yeah, the
And
weight. Oh, headlights out, bumper
new
gone.
damage model facing the wrong way. Looking
Wow.
up. Hood's a little loose as well.
Tables have turned on race director Josh Watt.
Yep.
He's seen us wreck, and now there he goes.
Nobody's immune. But I tell you, that's one thing that's different from Sonoma and Watkins Glen. as far as road courses go, especially on the NASCAR schedule, is that there's not a lot of runoff room at any of the corners here. So it's
No,
a lot like a street circuit where there's just concrete barriers left and right. A little bit of grass. It's not really grass. It's AstroTurf, but a lot of paint, sanded paint. Um, the grass is definitely an AstroTurf, over 100,000 square feet of AstroTurf. I was getting some fun facts earlier, and 5,400 gallons of paint were painted on the course by a company, a British track surface painting company, Road Grip. The different colors have different grits in them to help slow the cars down as they get closer to the wall. The grit level increases. So that's kind of cool. Just try to help slow the cars down before the inevitable crunch. And a big infield bridge between turns 2 and 3 as well.
Brian Coxon staying locked to the rear bumper of Batman.
Little by little, they've pulled away from John Daniels. Once again, this is Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon's MO is just kind of stay together, pull away from the field, and fight it out the last 10 laps or so.
Yeah, these guys are very consistent, both pretty methodical about what they want to do.
22.18 for David Stark is the fastest lap so far. It's not Josh Watt. So David Stark in the BMW finding the fast lap as we're watching Jason Phillips and Brian Coxon throw a blanket on him. Although Brian has a good run this time. Coming into the bus stop, he's going inside. He's making a look. No, just threatening. There's filling up the mirrors. You can see Jason Phillips has a little damage to the fender there. I'm guessing it's going to be a wall rub. Brian Coxon in the blue and black McLaren. Jason Phillips in the Batmobile. Where was that? Coming into the bus stop, so it's coming out of turn 8. All right, we'll see if it gets another run.
Yeah, I don't think that it's not something we typically see Brian Coxon do, to throw a Hail Mary of a move, not lunging like Will Power in Toronto.
Yeah.
These guys know in this series, I think that pit strategy really does become important due to the refueling times for these cars. So that does come into play a lot, whether or not you take tires, how long you need to fuel, things like that nature. But these guys are pretty patient. There's 40 minutes left of this race to try to make that dive. Shea McNeely's back in action with us.
Glad to see that. He's a really fast driver. Roommates to Brian Coxon, I believe.
Yeah.
Seattle. Oh, into the wall. See if that gives Justin Glickner in the white Porsche with the red wheels enough of a run to at least catch up and try to get him coming into the bus stop. Not yet. Not quite close enough.
Yeah, we've seen some funny pictures over the years of, this was over the last year, of Shea and Brian in their shared room with their setups. Yeah. Pretty funny to see the over the shoulder look of two people racing in the league. So enjoyable to see that. Both these guys race fairly often with Aaron in endurance races. Shea gets a little touch at the wall here himself.
Putting pressure on Ian Bakaitis. Ian Bakaitis, last year's AM season winner. Shea McNeely's a pro. Justin Glickner an AM. No, it's Shea. Justin's a pro. Sorry about that, Justin Glickner. I apologize. He's trying to look his way, or Shea McNeely's trying to find a way around Ian Bakaitis. Not yet. I'm glad Ian did get his number changed over to 22. He's got Mission 22 on the side of his car, and now he's also number 22. Last season, that was not the case. Threw me off. Mission 22 is 22 push-ups a day to help prevent soldier suicide. Just something Ian feels strongly about. So now I can say the car number 22 seems to be holding Shea McNeely off, but Shea's going to want a way around. Sooner or later, he's going to make a move. Where's it going to be?
Yeah, he's not able to take the curbs as hard as the Mercedes. The Mercedes stays a lot more stable going through all that heavy work. A little bit easier for him to get through these off-camber sections of the track than it is on the Mercedes. Get rotated.
Right. Perfect example of the momentum that the Porsche gains. On the infield, here we go. Is he going to do it? Ian sees him, gives him space.
Great positioning. He's on the outside here, though, for the run back onto the banked turns.
They're both leaving space.
Going too wide through Charlotte. Looks pretty normal to me. It's my way I'm used to seeing it.
Justin Glickner gets around him, too, as they come into the bus stop on the backstretch.
That outside line got good momentum there, got a good push generated.
Great cooperation from all three drivers there to leave each other room. That's what makes the league racing pretty special. And Ian Bakaitis goes from 9th to 11th on one lap.
Looks like he got a little bit deep there. May not have taken the line he wanted on that. And now he's got Walker McNulty in his rearview mirror. Oh boy, we've got these two stuck together now. They're Brian Coxon trying it on the outside here, going into the bus stop.
Jason Phillips breaks way late. Backs it down, takes the apex. Nice defensive driving there by Jason Phillips. As the pit window is open, my guess is they're going to run the whole fuel out. So I expect them to come in with about 20, 25 minutes to go. Oh, as Brian Coxon gets a great run through the chicane. Jason Phillips overslows. And don't look now, but John Daniels has reeled him back in. Jason Phillips does not want to let John Daniels in.
Yeah, it tucks back into line there. It's probably pretty smart just to take your lump there. And a lot of people, I think, will tilt after giving up the position, and then you end up giving up multiple positions.
Both these guys seem really calm, demeanored gentlemen. You know, I mean, they're never heard them get up on the wheel or excited or anxious. I mean, they're excitable, but not unrealistic, you know?
Really, the lead three pack here, I think all these guys have a pretty decent idea that what they're doing is they're trying to enjoy their time here. I think a lot of people can lose sight of that. You hear awful things in some official races where people get incredibly mad about things that don't matter or were their faults. It's, you know, we're racing Charlotte and rookie street stocks. It's a 15-minute race. Just move on with your life and load into the next one. So I think that, you know, it's, in order to get better, you have to want to get better. And the way that you're going to want to get better is by having fun and treating it like it's actually a hobby and not something that you're upset about. This doesn't cost, I mean, this is not always cheap to do, but you're not putting money into repairs in your car after the race if you get wrecked.
It's like Glickner made his way around Shea McNeely. Speaking of the red mist, let's see if Shea McNeely wants to fight back and how bad. 33 minutes to go. Glickner, move him up a spot. Both of these guys in Porsche. So they can't say there's a car advantage.
I think there's enough variation in this circuit that there are certain things each car has strengths and weaknesses that play out in. I think we can see that here in the field bearing out.
It's like Travis Rowe and, yes, Michael Odell going at it still. Travis Rowe now in front. Michael Odell in the blue BMW. Not the first time these guys have swapped positions this race. I'm sure they're having fun. Michael Odell filling up the mirrors, looking inside of turn 2. About a 25-foot elevation from turn 5 to turn 8 that we're coming in, then back down here.
We're starting to see some pit cycles. Looks like Nick Astlin and Justin Thaler have already pit. Brian Sarton taking a pit now.
"27-second stops. Walker McNulty has pitted for 27. Justin Thaler stopped for 25.
I'm not sure if Walker had to pit earlier on in the race after tapping the wall and take his fast repair.
Says he's had one stop at lap 18, and we're working lap 20.
So
21 for the leaders. So
must
yeah,
have been able to regather.
Maybe to get out of traffic. No traffic for these two, though. Just Travis Rowe and Michael Odell. Nose to tail like they have been pretty much the whole race.
Got Jason Phillipson and Jesse Coffey. Looks like Jesse Coffey might be trying a new car. Jesse Coffey was the only BMW in the field, and now he's in the Porsche. So we'll see if that sticks for the season.
Good recognition there. So we'll see where Brian Coxon and John Daniels come out. This is a strategy call by Jason Phillips, 25.0 seconds.
Brian just coming out of turn 4 here as Jason makes his way back onto the banks. John Daniels takes his pit, and looks like Michael Odell will do the same. So pretty consistent, 30 plus or minus 10 minutes or so. It's about the sweet spot for these cars with this fuel load.
Yeah, and Travis Rowe stayed out. Remember, Travis and Michael Odell were having a ding-dong battle, I should say. And
yeah.
So we'll see how this plays out, especially with Brian Coxon. John Daniels is in. Brian Coxon stays out a third lap longer than Jason Phillips. So
Hopefully,
we'll see where. Go ahead.
Hopefully Travis isn't mad with his crew, for his engineers, for letting him be undercut here, as Max Verstappen was this past weekend.
Yeah. Oscar Piastri.
Here comes Michael Odell.
Brian Coxon, pretty much the only one. Well, the top 6 have not pitted yet. First one to make his stop is actually John Daniels, with Jason Phillips right behind. So
Yeah, John ended up in front of Jason there. Stays in front, I suppose. Jason
yes,
had fallen back here after his moment, but able to maintain that. Has about half a second lead here still. Whoa. John got his launch there in the Aston Martin, testing out its wings.
Definitely testing out the shocks. They're working their way around Ian Bacaitis, who has not stopped yet. But somebody that has stopped is Brian Coxon, and he is on his way out, way ahead. Way ahead, just staying out those couple of laps. No, that's not Brian Coxon. Has not pitted yet.
Travis Rowe did just pit.
It was Travis. Okay. Sorry about the confusion. That's me. And he's in front of Michael Odell. Okay.
That's very nice of Michael to pick him up from school there and make sure he gets home safe. We believe in the buddy system here at Midwest Motorsports. The Justins like to stick together, and I could see these two spending a lot of time together this season. I feel like Jesse Coffey and Travis Rowe have spent a lot of time together.
All that time back and forth to the factory in Germany, Stuttgart, splitting the travel cost in their private plane. Gives them lots of times to become friends. So those teammates are trying to work it out now.
Yeah, we hope the mechanical seat adjustments still work in their BMWs. Don't require any servicing.
If it's been 10 days, there might be a question mark. Right now, they're fighting for 8th and 9th. I think when the pit cycled through, there's still 5 guys that haven't pitted yet in front of them. That still should be for 3rd and 4th. 4th and 5th, I should say. But Ian Bacaitis back out front, but hasn't pitted. All right.
Brian's still staying out. Brian is pretty gentle, I feel, on his equipment. His inputs are pretty smooth.
Well, this is starting to be a significant fuel save if he can.
Yeah.
Get, 4 laps more than Jason Phillips, and then he won't be stationary as long, and he'll be carrying a lighter fuel load. I'm not sure that the weight of the fuel makes that much of a difference in GT4 as it does compared to the power to weight ratio of a Formula car, but the time stationary in the pits will make a difference.
I think with the limited power that these have compared to other classes of cars, it can help with your acceleration a little bit, but your main save is the amount of time that you'll need to be refueled to get to the end.
That's free lap time.
I would assume he's not going to take tires. I'm not sure if anybody did or did not take tires.
$25 to $27s for everybody except Jesse Coffey. So Jesse Coffey at a 21 maybe might not have taken tires, or maybe nobody took tires and 25-second stop is the norm without tires. I'm not sure how much they wear. Were you able to get any laps in the rig to find out about tire wear, Adam?
No, I haven't had a chance to run here yet, but I don't figure people are going to be putting as much strain on the fronts here as they will in some other places. I know when we ran the Hungaroring 2 seasons ago, that tore everybody's tires up and it felt like you were on ice, and even taking new tires didn't make it much better. That was, I think, about a 120-degree track for that session. But I don't anticipate here with this weather, the temperature should be a little lower, maybe not as demanding on the fronts there to get through this track, I would assume people are able to get through. Jason Phillips may have a problem. He's already pitted on lap 21.
Oh, contact. Came in for a fast repair. We'll see.
Shane McNeely also in, and Justin Glickner as well. Let's see.
Any events there that we might have missed? Meanwhile, Brian Coxon finally decides to come in. Shea McNeely rolls back out. I've not seen Jason Phillips' car get jacked up, so he's still waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah, he might be taking some repairs here. Let's see if we can find what happened to Jason. There, he's down on the low side, so he's already slow at this point. So let's see if we can get back and see if anything happened here. He may have just been. Did he touch a wall here on the way out?
The light touch.
Yeah, that might have been enough.
Some damage.
Yeah, he already had some contact on that side before. So might see if by the time he gets back.
Right, on a straight line.
Yeah, he's a lot. Yeah, he's fighting the car there. Not fun to go through the bus stop at extreme angles. Yeah, so I think at this point he knew he was off and tucked down to the apron. So much appreciated to get down on the apron. He had a couple cars behind him. He let the BMW crew go by. So super considerate competitor, great member of the league, great guy to be around. I'm glad that he's here with us.
I agree 1,000%. Good role model for everybody, and he's fast. Champion last season.
Yeah, I haven't been able to keep up with the GT4 Road Series channel in the Discord, the Midwest Motorsports Discord. He has, and others have been quite active in there. Anytime I go in there, there's about 50 unread messages.
Yeah, most of those are Walker McNulty.
Well,
and that's okay. I'm being silly. I know Walker. I mean, we're good friends. It's not no disrespect to Walker. It's always about racing stuff, but it's funny that he's kind of taken a role in entertainment value.
It's a very fun place to be if you want to talk about how NASCAR handled the finish to the Brickyard, or if you want to talk about the differences in driving styles of these GT4 cars, or if you want to talk about sim rig equipment, we have pretty much all of it. Or if you want to look at pictures of Jason's car, you can do that too. There's all sorts of stuff going on in there, and it's a nice place to be. And I think that's really a nice feature of the league, and it's great to be able to talk to people about racing. I think a lot of the people in our lives are tired of hearing us talk about racing. So,
yeah, right, exactly. We got somebody to talk to,
right?
That understands what we're going through. Well, that's the perfect time to talk about Midwest Motorsports a little bit, as we'll watch Shea McNeely and David Stark go about it before we tell you more about how awesome a league Midwest Motorsports is and how you can join if you're watching. But this is the kind of action that you'll see. David Stark and Shea McNeely side by side for 4 corners now. Shea McNeely in the blue Porsche with Josh Watt hunting him down as they've repaired his dark horse Mustang. As they work their way back, we can tell you more. Midwest Motorsports has 3 different series. The Truck Series races on Friday. The Cup Series races on Sunday. You're watching the Road Series, which is currently GT4s. Here's a little snip to learn more about the GT4s and Midwest Motorsports.
Excited next week is the kickoff. So we'll actually see the action there next week where people are fighting for points. If you haven't signed up, do so.
It's always free. It won't cost you anything.
Yeah, if you know what series you'd like to run, if you like running road cars, there's any number of GT3 leagues. This is a dedicated GT4 league. The racing has been super competitive, and it's a nice offering here that we have. These cars are very interesting in a lot of courses, interesting, unique challenges that these have. So sign up for that. Your commitment is about an hour and a half a week, depending, and plus or minus your the time you're willing to spend in the seat to practice. But it definitely helps to practice with these cars and make sure that you're ready to go.
Never boring. Josh Watt tries to get in the mix. Here's Travis Rowe.
And the new look Jesse Coffey.
Justin Glickner putting on the pressure now, or trying to, on Walker McNulty. That is for position. Remember, Walker crashed early on his own, or spun earlier on his own. Worked his way all the way back up to ninth, through the amateurs, and now finally into the pro field. And he goes around Josh again.
Race control.
Oh, leaving parts on the track. Where are you going? Oh, no, right into Ian Bacalus.
Josh, oh no,
That's
wow.
a dangerous rejoin. He gets an EOL next week.
Wow. That's going to be a pit lane start for our race director. Yep. Let's see, something happened to Justin Thaler here. Let's see if we can get a look at that. Too much curb? Yeah, just a little too much curb into the bus stop. No damage to the car. Mostly emotional damage there.
Emotional damage.
It sure is a trip to look down and see safety car crashed in the list of events here in our in our system. Just overcooked it. Not used to having all that power.
Nowhere to go. Sees Walker go by. Hope he's looking at his relative, but it's hard to tell if Ian's there. He thinks about trying to do a snap turn, and now he's blocking the road. Ian Bacalus has no idea he's there.
Oh,
Kablamo.
Something people may not be aware of here in the fixed GT4 is that these cars have traction control on, and it's pretty firm traction control. So your ability to get spun around in the GT4s is pretty limited. Oh boy, that
happens so fast.
Not as much air as Santino Ferrucci, but similar looking incident there. But I know that, for myself, the first race that I did here in this league, we was at Belle Isle, and if you get sideways and backwards inside those walls, it is not easy to spin these cars around. You have to really get your Scandinavian flick going to put them back around, and there are many times where your option is just to pit,
return to pit,
and try to not ruin anybody else's race. So looks like something happened to Justin Gleckner too. He wanted to be just like his buddy. Yep. He did the same thing that his buddy Justin Thaler did.
Monkey see, monkey do.
One brain cell.
Jesse Coffey now. This is for position.
I think Jason Phillips is still taking repairs.
Yeah, he might have stepped off his rig to get another drink. No points awarded today, so maybe he just wants to hang out.
He's got a picture here in the channel. His steering wheel, I would say, is closer to almost 60 degrees left off center. So he was definitely not pointed in the right direction. The lights are coming on here. Can't tell if the fog's dissipated or if it's just gotten darker and harder to tell, but not too much impact here, but it's nice to have some mood. These cars do have headlights, so it's nice to use those
Yeah.
where possible.
You can really see the lights light up the track now.
Looks like the window net is down on the safety car. Safety car is called it a day. These two are continuing their regular season form. They're already ready to be paired up together, despite flip-flopping manufacturers. Regardless of the car,
Yes.
these two seem to be pretty evenly matched. So that's really fun to see and quite impressive how people will stay together. This is the closest battle on track right now.
Jesse Coffey's on his bumper, though.
Despite being a small field for this league, it's still a pretty decent turnout tonight. 16 cars on track, plus the safety car. Expect to probably see 24 plus in our actual races. I know last season at the first race at Silverstone, we had so many cars on track that we had to adjust the video settings so that the streaming computer could handle all of the cars.
44 cars, I think, was the total.
Yeah, that was a new and great problem to have. So hope to have you join us here and run your race. Doesn't matter what your pace is. If you're aware enough to be safe, you can find somebody who wants to race with you up and down the field.
Jesse Coffey is closer and closer in the blue Porsche to Travis Rowe and the BMW purple and green. Coming up on the 10-minute mark. 10 minutes to go in front of this sold-out Charlotte facility. The Roval.
Assume they're selling some hoodies and hot chocolates.
Yes, probably hot chocolate for sure.
I know I could have used one on Sunday at the Chicago street race. The rain was not warm. I planned to be overly hot and was greeted with being soaked. So wasn't what I expected, but still had a good time.
I'm glad you did. That had to be a lot of fun. I was happy to see it be another success, even though we did get some rain.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only issues you could say Sunday really had was related to start time being late in the day and not really leaving enough window for getting the race in, with the lights going out and potential curfews with the city. That probably had something to do with the NBC carrying both the IndyCar Mid-Ohio race and Chicago street race, trying to get their doubleheader in, but maybe wasn't necessarily the best thing for the Chicago race. So hopefully we'll eventually get that race to be starting early enough that when it does rain inevitably on that Sunday, they'll have plenty of opportunity to get the race in. So good to see him run on some wets. The Xfinity race on Saturday was just an absolute treat. Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen were really putting on a show together. That's about as fun as I think that you can see stock car road racing be. That was just a great time. Those guys were really giving each other space and testing each other, and it was just a blast.
It's especially fun to see it in person too, so I'm glad you got to experience that at Chicago. Lots of new fans were appealed by the track. Speaking of new fans, we got a new fan up here in the booth. You're supposed to be on the track, Justin. What's up, man?
Oh, you must have missed it.
No, we did. We
Well,
might have missed a big one. We saw you get sideways through the bus stop once, but we didn't see any big.
Oh,
changes.
yeah.
No,
Adam's
it's right.
looking for it now.
No, I've got it. We're
No,
ready.
that's fun. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. No,
Yeah,
I don't want to miss it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just
walk us through.
decided to eat too much sausage.
4th of July is over.
It is.
Hitting the grill is.
Can you turn down a good sausage, though?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, a little maybe spicy mustard on there. It's because if you can see it on the inside of my banner, it's because my other ride is a Jeep. So I thought, I had the ground.
Yeah.
I had the
You're trying
ground clearance, and I didn't. I forgot what car I was driving.
If you find this, if you can read this, flip this Porsche back over.
So, just ate too much there, but was there
Jesse
some
Coffee
contact there?
And Travis Rowe. I think Travis Rowe might have hit a wall. Straightened it back out. Adam's going to rewind it for us.
Yeah, got real tight there.
Oh,
last minute adjustment.
Did he get bumped?
I think he got sideways, a little tank slapper putting on the power. Maybe.
I don't think he took any. I don't think he took any contact from behind.
Yeah, it looks like
he may have taken that on the door well enough that it didn't impact his car. Oh,
maybe
not.
Might be. It's hard to know sometimes what's car and what's tilting and pressing a little bit after a mistake.
Absolutely. Tight battle, though. I mean,
he's not done fighting back. Yeah. Jesse Coffee making his Porsche. Jesse Coffee made a Porsche choice for manufacturer this season, so that's new for him. But he knows how to make that Porsche wide and blocks Travis's attack. Move Travis down a spot.
Looks like his steering inputs are relatively straight, especially compared to what Jason Phillips was dealing with.
Looks pretty straight.
Brian Coxon putting in another calm clinic.
17 seconds now, the gap to Michael Odell in second. After Jason Phillips has a wall contact as well, and he's still in the pits. I think he's out of the car. Sharing pictures on the Discord, but it's a preseason race.
Yeah, I'm really, with how good of a season that Jason had. I was really quite surprised to see him paying over to the McLaren versus the Mercedes. I mean, I'm confident that Jason's going to put the practice in and really learn to dial in that car and figure out how to extract, everything out of it. But Brian's been driving this car for many seasons. He drives it in quite a few officials, so he knows definitely the feel of the McLaren. And with how tight the points battle was there last season, I'm kind of surprised that Jason didn't want to maybe retain and try and maybe figure out how he can irk just that little bit extra out of the Mercedes versus just completely change up to a mid-engine car and a whole different manufacturer altogether.
I don't think Jason Phillips. Sorry, Adam. Sorry about that. I don't think Jason Phillips is the type of guy to wear the same pair of shoes twice in a row. He switches up the hat every now and then. He's got a collection of hats on the wall to choose from. So maybe just wants a little bit of variety.
Yeah, that was going to be my thought, that I think Jason is someone who really likes the learning and the process aspect. He's somebody who's always searching for his brake biases in these vehicles and these tracks and trying to figure things out. So I think that this is a position where he can try a new car and learn a lot about it. And then if he doesn't like this, he'll work through it and try something else next season.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Aslin with a nice pass on Brian Starton there. As we're coming up on 3 minutes to go, Justin, while we got you here, I'd be remiss to not ask you about next season, at least a little bit. We're starting next week at Circuit Navarro. So a couple of changes, a big field. What are we going to see, man?
Well, most of the stuff is kind of staying the same. Made some tweaks, but we've continued to grow. So we have, I want to say, in our stable of drivers, we have, I think, around 44-ish drivers. So in the mid 40s, we have a driver count. So not expecting every driver to show up. And we might get those every driver maybe a couple times this season, which will be completely awesome, especially for the endurance races. If we can maybe, get maximum participation, I think that could be a lot of fun. But it's going to be interesting. It'll be fun to see if some guys bite the bullet and change manufacturer at any point during the season. So something that the drivers kind of asked for and things like that. And we really didn't want, running the league. You don't want drivers just choosing the quote meta car, for that track of the week, right? So you want drivers to just kind of be consistent. And I think the schedule has enough variety to it where, I don't think one car is going to be the best car, say, every week in a row. The top tier drivers, I think, are going to definitely not be a stranger to running up towards the front. But it should be interesting. 16-week schedule, 2 endurance races, some guaranteed races that will have rain, some guaranteed races that will go into night, and as you guys kind of saw last week, the utilizing iRacing's Tempest weather system. So it could be some wild stuff this season with how the conditions might change.
Well, I'm super excited. Thanks for all the effort that you and the admin team have put into creating the schedule and coming up with the rules and making them consistent. It really says a lot about the league. And once again, Midwest Motorsports is the fastest iRacing league online from my research, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of it. Thanks for letting us call it. We're having a great preseason race as Michael Odell is currently in second place. We're winding it down with under a minute to go, so I believe this is going to be Brian Coxon's. He might make it around.
He's just hitting the bus stop here, so
he's got 20 seconds to get back.
Yeah, I don't believe with the coming out of here going through the chicane, he's going to make the finish before then, but
he can park it just in case. No, you're right. He's not going to make it. So Barney threw the white flag last lap, so this is it. I believe. Checkered flag, or is that the white?
That's like the white.
All right, we got one more lap. A victory lap here for Brian Coxon in the McLaren. Last season's runner-up by 25 points. That's one position, by the way. Really close, exciting battle last season.
More than a few places he probably could have taken advantage of.
Yeah, so, real quick, going back to the last season, takes a lot of work to run the league, but we definitely, and I say we because it is absolutely a team effort, but, we couldn't do it without you, James, Adam, Josh, Aaron, Dustin, my brother Eric, Ben Litherland, Anthony, John Bates, Steve Hansel, and Justin Gleckner. Just amazing group of guys, and that's what's I think the most rewarding for me. We make it clear that admins get no preferential treatment on or off the track, and they're subject to all the rules as any other driver is. So, being able to get a good group of guys and a team together.
Checker flag, got him.
Congratulations, Brian. But I just want to make sure everyone realizes that, and thanks to all our drivers and everybody who chooses to be there. So Brian Coxon looks to be back in form, even though it's an on-points race. He did his thing.
Yes, he did. And once again, I can safely speak for everybody. It's a pleasure to be a part of the group, like you mentioned as well. So thanks to all the admins that make Midwest Motorsports possible and a success, including the drivers and the racers that we're seeing tonight. A great turnout tonight. 17 cars, including the safety car, Josh Watt. So Walker McNulty finishing his race out. Brian Cox and Michael Odell and Jesse Coffey are the podium tonight in our preseason race. And I think we saw about what we expected to see, Adam. The fog may have played a factor. Cold tires definitely played a factor early. And, well, what do you think about wrapping this race up, Adam?
Yeah, it's a nice to see everybody run here. We'll have to get maybe on the podcast, Justin, you can give your thoughts on the behavior of the safety car and his exploits here on the track. But another solid performance from Brian Coxon. A little bit of trouble for Jason Phillips there, still adjusting to that car, but pulling over so everybody has a chance to run a clean race. So lots of good racing still up and down the field, lots of changes, and hopefully people are ready next week to come and bring it. So I expect to see a lot of good, clean racing, and hopefully we'll have some battles down to the end.
I'm trying to see if I can send Brian Coxon a quick message and see if he wants to talk. But yeah, I agree, Adam. It's awesome. It gets me excited about what's to come for next season. Let's see if anybody else wants to chat. Nobody's in the chatter right now.
There he is. Looks like Brian
all
popped
right.
in there.
He should. He's missed quite a few in the past. I know that for sure. He should know the routine by now.
I got him. Or working on it. Come on, computer, keep up. All right, somebody could unmute him. We can make fun of him for a couple of minutes for putting a whooping on the whole field in just a preseason race, Brian. Guess we got to get him off mute first. Brian, it's just a preseason race, man. You don't have to whoop up on him like that.
I don't know. I did not expect to have that much pace. I don't know. I just kind of drove, and Jason seemed to have a couple issues. He was saying he had a steering wheel issue, so I don't know if that was a hardware thing or a damaged thing, but ended up getting ahead of him. And then I actually almost underfueled the car. I think I took too little of fuel near the at the pit stop and had to fuel save a bunch near the end. But that's probably why I got so much of a lead at the pit stop. I went from like 3 or 4 seconds ahead of John to like 8, and then I had to save like half a lap's worth of fuel near the end.
Always thinking about something, man. Considering the whole race, start to finish, and once again, you brought it home, pick it up right where you left off. Congrats on a great run, man. What did you think about the fog and about the competition? Jason Phillips is right there with you in the McLaren, so maybe talk about his manufacturer change as well.
Yeah, the fog's cool. I like seeing it. I know there was supposed to be a chance, like a small chance of rain for this race, and I'm not fast in the rain, so I'm not complaining about that. But yeah, I know Jason switched to the McLaren, and I think Charlotte is a pretty good track for it, especially the infield. It just seems to suit the car's kind of medium to low speed turning and like direction change. And I think he had some pretty good pace. He put down a really fast qualifying lap. I don't know how I think it was like a 121 or something. Yeah, it was a 121.9, which I don't know how he did that. I think on low fuel at the very end I got close to it, but I was on probably 40 liters less of fuel. But he definitely seems to be showing some good pace in it.
Hey, Brian, congrats on the preseason victory. Couple quick questions for you. What are you looking forward to next season?
The racing, the people, the usual for this league, I suppose. This league always has a really fun community, so that's always nice. And yeah, the racing's always really clean. I can't remember the last time I had an issue with someone or on track, like an on-track issue with someone. where I was like upset afterwards and was like, how dare they, type of thing. I can't remember the last time that happened. So yeah, it's always nice to know I can come here and not have a crazy, chaotic, crash-filled 23 incident point race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I appreciate that, and I agree. Think we set the rules up pretty well, and they're easy to understand, and try to make them as black and white as this action results in this consequence and all that. What are your goals for next season? I think I probably know the answer, but
I suppose going off of last season, the championship if possible. I know I'm taking a few more classes this fall for college, so we'll see if hopefully that doesn't conflict with anything and I can make all the races, or at least most of them. But yeah, that'd be really cool if I could get it, if I can get enough good races in. But we will see. But yeah, at least have some fun battles. That's always the main thing.
yeah, I'm willing to bet that you're going to definitely get those. So let's shoot for the Redemption Tour, get a championship out of it, and then last question is, when are you going to apply the Midwest Motorsports painter to your car?
I should really get on that. I am not much good at livery making. Here, I'm opening trading paints now. I'll try and actually. I'll work on that.
Maybe
tonight,
talk to your
really
guidance counselor.
Else.
Your guidance counselor might be able to get you into a graphic design class.
Maybe I'll. Oh yeah, who knows? Maybe definitely related to an engineer degree. Definitely.
Yeah, you have a co-driver too that helps you out on some of the longer races there. Aaron Holroyd might know a thing or two about helping you out there.
He did make the livery for the GT3 league I'm in with him and a few guys.
All you got to do is ask, brother.
Yeah, true. I suppose you guys are probably better at it than me, anyways.
He got no time for that, man. He's trying to go fast.
Sometimes on good days.
All right. Well, congratulations. Look forward to seeing what you're going to pull off for next season.
Appreciate it.
Congrats on a great run, Brian. We look forward to seeing you next season, man. We'll let you get back to studying. I know you probably got class in the morning, so we'll let you run. But again, great job on a good preseason race, man. Glad you joined us tonight.
Not in the summer, luckily, but thank you.
Taking the summer off, he's slacking off.
Yeah, definitely.
Enjoy your break.
Thank you.
All right. That's your winner. It looks like I've sent a message to Michael Odell and the third place to Jesse Coffey and no love on the race chatter. So I think we're just going to call it a wrap, man. We'll wrap it up from Charlotte. Adam, you got anything else? Justin?
No, I think we're good. Just looking forward to next week, making sure we get the new season kicked off. Hopefully, it's a good, clean race, and it's a long season. So, just want to remind the drivers of that. So there'll probably be some messages going out, in the Discord channel, and get on with it. Get back to regular racing. I've got, we do have some interesting things taken up for the off-week challenges when we're not, in a points race. I think will be a little bit interesting than kind of what we did last season, during the off week. So just look forward to having some fun and getting everybody back on track together. And Brian kind of put it best. We have a really good community, and it's competitive. From first to last place. So there's no shortage of action, I don't think, on the track, and I think the schedule's gonna prove that, and the drivers will as well.
I agree. Well, thanks for stepping in and joining us here, Justin. Adam, thanks a lot for calling the race with me tonight, man. Again, I really appreciate it. It brings a lot to the broadcast and taking it to the people that are out there watching. We appreciate every one of you. Don't forget to follow us on your way out of the Twitch or give us a like on the YouTube if that's how you're watching. But for the Charlotte preseason race, we'll wrap it up. Adam Sondag, Josh Watt running race control, all the admins that make Midwest Motorsports possible. I'm James J, reminding you to stay in your lane. See you next Tuesday night for some more GT4 action.